Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to day 174 of the 365-day graphic novel review challenge. Today, I want to talk to you about Lois and Clark. This is part of the Road to Rebirth transition from the New 52 into the DC Rebirth. This is an 8-issue miniseries by Dan Jurgens, Lee Weeks, and Scott Hanna. And this is basically the story of how Lois and Clark from the post-crisis pre-New 52 timeline, how they came to the New 52 world and they were living in secret, and how they were having to get used to this new world, get used to this new life. It's basically more of what we got in the Patrick Gleason, Peter Tomasi Superman book that was showing these guys kind of doing their thing. It's a little bit of a prequel. It's kind of showing how they got to that point on page 1 of the Gleason-Tomasi book. If you don't like prequels, if you're the kind of person who says, well, this prequel was pointless, it just showed us everything that we already knew, you might not like this. I didn't mind. It is a little bit unnecessary because it's basically showing us stuff that we already know and is common knowledge in that other Superman book, but it didn't bother me because I really like the idea of Superman and Lois from the post-crisis timeline existing in this world. I still really like that a lot. That's my favorite thing about Rebirth, so if you wanted to do 100 different books with those versions of Superman and Lois existing in the New 52 timeline, I would probably buy all of them. So even though this does have a little bit of that prequelitis thing where it's basically just getting you up to the point that the other book already starts at, it doesn't bother me that much. I really like that Superman and Lois are calling out the New 52 universe, saying that it's really cynical, a lot more so than their previous home. I like that because, yeah, I didn't really like the New 52. I like that this book is not pulling its punches in that. I also really like the idea that this version of Superman, he has knowledge of a previous universe that is very different than this universe, and so he's using that knowledge to his advantage. He is checking out characters who were villains for him in the previous timeline, and he's looking into them to see if they are going to become villains again. For example, Hank Henshaw eventually became the Cyborg Superman during the Return of the Superman, or the Reign of Superman storyline, and in this universe he has not yet become the Cyborg Superman, and he might not, and so this version of Superman is looking into that, making sure, like, okay, is everything okay with this guy? Is he going to turn out to be a villain? And if he is, I want to be there to stop him before he destroys Coast City. I really like that idea a lot, and I like that things don't happen the way that this version of Superman thinks that they would. I'm curious, though. I seem to recall that there was a Cyborg Superman in the New 52, but he wasn't Hank Henshaw, and I'm curious if this version of Superman knew about that version of the Cyborg Superman, and if he did he think that something different was going to happen with Hank Henshaw? I don't know, and that didn't really bother me that much while I was reading it. It was just something I thought of after the fact. Overall, I think that this book is pretty good. It is 8 issues long. If I had any other complaints at all, it might be that this could have been 6 or 7 issues long. It doesn't have to be as long as it is, but again, I enjoyed what we got here, so it didn't really bother me that this was as long as it was. If I wasn't enjoying myself, I probably would have been a little bit more disappointed that they dragged it out 8 issues. But as is, since I enjoyed the material that we got here, it did not bother me at all that this was 8 issues long. So those are my thoughts on Lois and Clark by Jurgens, Weeks, and Hanna. I hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with a different video. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.